Narrator warm measured. She was asked to leave the auction room before the event had even begun. Soft gasp. Her linen shirt, cropped trousers, and worn canvas flats became the reason an entire room, glittering with diamonds, erupted in condescending laughter. Mocking voices, overlapping, cruel but hushed. Guess one, snide. Did someone let the cleaning staff into the VIP section? Guess two, laughing under her breath. She's probably here to apply for a nanny job. Narrator gentle, protective. That woman, no designer bag, no jewelry, no entourage, simply smiled as they ushered her out. But what no one knew, pause for emphasis, was that the woman they were trying to throw away was the wife of the man funding the entire event. Scene 2, the Vault of Influence. Narrator, reverent, almost whispering. The Claiborne private auction in Lake Como, an underground fortress of wealth, housed beneath the Grand Aurora Hotel. Polished marble floors, crystal chandeliers gleaming under soft light. A world where Van Gogh paintings, raw diamonds, and private islands change hands. Entry? By invitation only. No tickets, no exceptions. Invitations, sealed with obsidian wax, bore names that shaped global markets. Almont, Dorsey, Selwyn. This was no mere auction. It was a stage for billionaires, European royals, and top-tier investors, where power was currency and anonymity a crime. Scene 3, the librarian's vigil. Narrator, soft, intimate. Beyond the velvet ropes, in a modest study in Oxford, a retired librarian, Eleanor watched a private live stream. Her frail hands trembled, her eyes fixed on the young woman's quiet grace. Scene 4, Ilara's entrance. Narrator, proud, tender. Ilara Hart stepped into the chamber. Her white linen shirt crisp but unbranded, her cropped trousers simple, her canvas flats worn at the edges. Chestnut hair tied low, no makeup, hazel eyes holding a calm that seemed to hush the room. At 28, her beauty was raw, not the polished dazzle of the elite, but the understated glow of someone who had taught literacy in rural schools and managed microfinance projects in Segal. Raised in a modest Bristol flat, she had lost her father young. Her mother, a nurse, had valued service over status. Tonight she clutched a printed invitation. No QR code, no elite access pass. Her present a scandal in a sea of Chanel and Patek Philippe. Scene 5, the scorn. Narrator, voice tightening with indignation. The guest stares cut through Ilara as she entered, their whispers sharp as blades. Margot Almont, icy laugh. She thinks this is a public art exhibit. Victor Dorsey, smirking, that outfit. Even the parking valet looked better dressed. Phones discreetly filmed Ilara's plain shirt. Scene 6, the expulsion. Narrator, urgent, protective. Security moves swiftly, polished boots echoing on marble. Guard 1, polite but firm, ma'am. This event isn't open to the general public. Ilara, serene, steady, I have an invitation. Guard 2, condescending, we'll need to scan your net worth verification code. A female staffer, whisper sharp, Miss, the service entrance is that way. Crowd, chorus of cruel laughter, back to the streets, darling. Narrator, heartbreaking. Phones flashed, private chats buzzing. Hashtag auction fraud. Zooming in on Ilara's low-tied hair. Her mother's face on the live stream crumpled. Each taunt, a wound to her daughter's dignity. Scene 7, the arrival of power. Narrator, pulse quickening. Then a low hum echoed from above. A Bentley slid into Grand Aurora's private entrance. Steel doors swung open, and every head turned. Nathaniel Hart entered. Chairman of Europe's largest private asset firm, influence spanning 11 nations. Plain black tux, no logo, dark hair slightly tousled, blue eyes, sharp as glacier glass. He strode through the crowd, ignoring their stares, gaze locked on Ilara. Nathaniel, voice ringing, no microphone needed. Why are you here? I've searched every floor trying to find you. Turning to security, tone ice cold. The woman you just tried to eject is Ilara Hart, my wife. Stunned silence, diamonds dull, faces ashen. Nathaniel, commanding, thunderous. I made it very clear. Anyone who disrespects my wife will no longer be part of any deal bearing my name. He lifts a tablet. Contracts cascade across the screen. Almont Fund, Dorsey Bank, Cell Corporation, all severed. Starting tomorrow, you are erased. Scene 8, The Reckoning. Narrator, triumphant, warm. The live stream exploded. Hashtag Justice for Ilera trended worldwide. Margot Almont's diamond necklace seemed to choke her. Victor Dorsey's watch stopped ticking. Celeste Sell's media empire faced boycotts. Staff who'd sneer were escorted out. Careers ended. Guests who'd laugh scattered. Invitations void. Ilera sat beside Nathaniel. Linen shirt glowed like a quiet crown. Hazel eyes soft but unyielding. Scene 9, A Quiet Victory. Auctioneer, awed. Next item, a royal diamond ring, valued at $14 million. Nathaniel, paddle raise, calm, $14 million. Auctioneer, gavel falls, sold to Ilera Hart. Narrator, reverent. The room rose. Applause forced. Earlier cruelty now a weight they could not shake. No one dared meet her eyes. Their diamonds dulled. Their status dissolved. Epilogue, The Walkout. Narrator, gentle, uplifting. Ilera walked toward the steel doors. Nathaniel at her side. No security needed. She stepped into the elevator, leaving a trail of the world's richest pleading for her favor. Their bows a silent surrender to the woman they had mocked. They laughed because she didn't wear diamonds. Pause, then warm crescendo. But little did they know, she held the economy in her hands. Narrator, soft dawn-light in voice, almost conspiratorial. Dawn broke over Lake Como, peach gold light spilling across the Grand Aurora's private terrace. But inside the hotel's bulletproof vault, silence still clung like frost. Margot Almont, still in the same $70,000 door, stared at her phone as her private banker delivered the news. Every line of credit frozen. Margot, hoarse, disbelieving, but we've banked with Hart Lloyd for 30 years. Banker, apologetic, tinny on speaker, Mrs. Almont. The instruction came from the chairman himself, effective immediately. Narrator, warm with quiet triumph. Across the Atlantic, Victor Dorsey's industrial stock opened 23% down. Trading was halted before breakfast. Celeste Sell's flagship network cut to dead air when 3 anchor teams resigned on air, citing moral incompatibility. And somewhere in Riyadh, a princess's cousin quietly boxed up her $80,000 tiara for auction. Proceeds to a literacy fund in Seagal. Soft chuckle. Funny how quickly the world recalibrates. Scene 11, The Terrace Reunion. Narrator, gentle breeze, birdsong behind. By 8:03 a.m., Ilera stood barefoot on the marble terrace. Canvas flats dangling from one hand, hazel eyes on the lake. Behind her, Eleanor, her mother, stepped through the French doors, live stream finally dark. Tears dried the salt tracks of pride. Eleanor, voice trembling but steady, I raise you, be kind. Little bird, never to be anyone's doormat. Ilera, soft laugh, embracing her. And you taught me that dignity costs nothing, mother, yet it's worth everything. Nathaniel, approaching, teasing warmth. Ladies, breakfast is served, though I'm afraid the caviar has been replaced with oatmeal. Budget cuts, you understand. Eleanor, dry wit, oatmeal suits us, Mr. Hart. Diamonds are terribly hard on the digestion. Scene 12, The Unopened Letters. Narrator, rustle of heavy paper, wax seals cracking. By noon, a courier delivered a stack of letters, black envelopes, obsidian wax, the same seal once reserved for elite invitations. Inside, not invitations, but apologies, each word handwritten, ink smelling of haste and regret. Margot Almont voiceover, reading aloud, humbled. I mistook simplicity for insignificance. I begged the chance to make amends. Narrator, Ilera set the letters aside, unopened. Forgiveness, she knew, was a garden to be tended later. Today, she would plant seeds elsewhere. Scene 13, The New Boardroom. Narrator energized, crisp. 3 weeks later, in a sunlit loft in Bristol, Ilera convened a different kind of meeting. No marble, no crystal, just reclaimed wood tables, laptops humming, and 20 village teachers flown in from Seagal. Ilera, bright, animated. We're allocating the first $50 million to microloans at zero interest. Repayments will seed local libraries, not offshore accounts. Teachers, applause, laughter, some wiping tears. Narrator, proud. Meanwhile, Nathaniel quietly redirected a third of Hartlord's liquidity into rural infrastructure bonds. The world's markets took notice. Ethical capital was suddenly fashionable. Scene 14, the invitation returns. Narrator, playful lilt. 6 months on, a single ivory envelope, gold wax, arrived at the Bristol flat. Inside, one line, embossed in understated type. Mrs. Alara Hart requests the honor of your presence to decide who next deserves a seat at the table. No retinal scanners. No net worth verification. Just a promise. Kindness as a new currency. Final voiceover, gentle, resonant. Narrator. They laughed because she wore canvas. They bowed because she carried compassion like a crown. The auction room beneath the grand aurora still gleams, but its mirrors now reflect a different light. One that warms rather than blinds. And if you listen closely, above the clink of crystal, you'll hear the rustle of linen shirts and the quiet shuffle of worn flats. Proof that dignity, once ignited, can light the world.